Hello guys, welcome to CTN with Adedoyin. I am so happy to be here. This is my first video this year, so let me wish you a happy new year. Today I am going to be dropping a video on the recommended text by JAMB. The title of the text is The Lekki Headmaster. I have decided to do a short analysis of this video and then bring out possible questions that JAMB can ask. Please do not forget to like, share, comment, hit the notification button to know when I upload these chapters. And I'll be expecting your answers in the comment section. You may probably get a gift from me. So I hope to hear from you guys. Thanks for always watching my videos. I love you guys. Bye. Chapter 1. The Dusk. The story begins on the assembly ground. The students of Stardom Senior Secondary School had just recited the second stanza of the national anthem. It was their regular routine to always recite the full stanza of the national anthem every Tuesday and Thursday. Ikenna Egbu, a student of Stardom Senior Secondary School, has been asked to deliver a speech on his excursion to Jos. Ikenna had just concluded his exciting adventure when the school principal, Mr. BEPO Adewale, walked onto the podium from the back of the assembly. Mr. BEPO Adewale had served the school for 24 years, and so the students already had an idea of what he was going to say to Ikenna. In fact, he was nicknamed the Lekki Headmaster for his humorous imitations of characters. The name was gotten from the old TV drama, The Village Headmaster. This nickname was first used by Mr. Audu, the fine art teacher, who would jokingly call Mr. BEPO the Lekki Headmaster, and he would in turn smile. This became a stamp to his identity. As Mr. BEPO Adewale collected the microphone from the chapel prefect, he attempts to speak, but no words. Instead, he began to weep profusely in front of the students and members of staff. Everyone was shocked. As the cry intensifies, the vice principal, Mrs. Grace Appiah, was forced to step forward. She kept inquiring from Mr. BEPO what the problem was, but there was no response. Getting really irritated, the vice principal asked Mr. Justice Annabel to conclude the assembly and dismiss the students to their classes. The school nurse and other members of staff led the principal to his office. The incident spread like wildfire, and many students started calling their parents to inform them of the principal's action that morning. The parents in turn started calling the vice principal, Mrs. Grace Appiah, since the principal was not available. The vice principal was forced to call the MD of the school, Mrs. Ibidun Gloss. There was a reduction in the boarding fee of the students earlier that day. The school management had decided to reduce the fee from 250,000 naira to 165,000 naira per session. This was to reduce the lateness of the students and to encourage more parents to enroll their students into the boarding house. So, the MD was surprised to hear the news of Mr. BEPO's outburst. What could be the cause? She wondered. She remembered how joyous Mr. BEPO was the previous day when the school celebrated an impressive 90% success rate in the West African exam. The school had given teachers 20,000 naira each, and the SS3 subject teachers, whose students did well, were awarded 30,000 naira. Only 2 teachers were reprimanded because of the D7 2 students had in their subjects. There were Mr. Obong Okek and Mr. Taye Karim. So, what could be the problem? Mrs. Ibidu wondered. On getting to the school, the MD invited Mr. BEPO Adewale to her office. He was still in tears. The MD asked what the matter was, but he refused to talk. After much persuasion, the MD was forced to invite Mr. Okwewande, the physical health education teacher. I guess it was because he was also a pastor. Mr. Wande tried all he could to get Mr. Bepo to speak, but to no avail. The MD eventually asked Mr. Bepo to go home, and Mr. Wande should follow him home. I wonder what could have caused this outburst, the MD kept wondering. And so, Mr. Bepo was asked to go home to relieve himself of the outburst that he had caused that morning. This is the end of chapter 1. Now, I want you to try out the following questions. Question 1. What is the name of the student who just delivered a speech on the assembly ground? What is the name of the student who delivered a speech on the assembly ground? 2. What days does the student recite the second stanza of the national anthem? 2. What days does the student recite the second stanza of the national anthem? 3. Why did the vice principal ask Mr. Annabel to dismiss the students? Why did the vice principal ask Mr. Annabel Justice to dismiss the students? 4. What is the name of the school principal? What is the name of the school principal? 5. Why was he nicknamed the Lekki Headmaster? Why was he nicknamed the Lekki Headmaster? 6. Who was the first teacher who nicknamed him? Who was the first teacher who nicknamed him? 7. What is the name of the old TV drama where this name was gotten? What is the name of the old TV drama where this name was gotten? 8. The school fees was reduced from what price to what price? The school fees was reduced from what price to what price? 9. Why did the vice principal call the MD of the school? Why did the vice principal call the MD of the school? 10. The two teachers that were reprimanded were? The two teachers that were reprimanded were? 11. And the last question. Why did the MD invite Mr. Okwewande to question Mr. BEPO ADEWALE? Why did the MD invite Mr. Okwewande to question Mr. BEPO ADEWALE? I would like you to answer these questions and then check out for the answers to see if you are correct. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed this short narration. Now to chapter 2.